UN weapons inspectors, including Americans, have arrived back in Baghdad just moments ago. The head of the UN team looks for inspections to resume tomorrow. Although the immediate crisis is over, the U.S. continues to build its military presence in the Gulf. CBS reporter Alan Pizzi has the latest from Jordan.
UN weapons inspectors arrived back in Baghdad today, and they're expected to spend the first day settling in, getting their equipment in order. When they left the Gulf state of Bahrain, where they'd been sent into exile more than a week ago, they had nothing to say, but it was made clear that their deepest concern is finding whatever Saddam Hussein managed to hide in the time that they were away. Experts say that it would only take a couple of days, if you already had the means, to mix up enough of the deadly VX virus nerve agent to make a small terrorist weapon. You could mix together an anthrax bomb in a week. The long-range missile program and the nuclear program that the weapons inspectors have been checking on and destroying is not such a big worry. Their real fear is what Saddam managed to hide in the time that they were away. And the first challenge will come when the inspectors get out in the field and try to go into what the Iraqis consider a presidential site. That's a palace belonging to Saddam Hussein, or an area guarded by his elite presidential guard. The Iraqis seem to feel they've got some kind of deal that says the inspectors won't go there. The UN says no way, it will go wherever it wants to go. And those presidential sites, so-called, will be prime targets because the inspectors have lost 3 weeks in the time that this standoff has been going. They're very worried about what Saddam may have squirreled away, and they're going to have to work very hard to make up for lost time, and that work will start tomorrow. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Amman.
Time now here, Connecticut's news station is 5:42. Here's a look at some of the stories we're working on this morning. Police arrest a suspect in the murder of a 22-year-old Naugatuck woman. The body of Lisa Orgnon was found in a Southington neighborhood yesterday. 22-year-old Ricardo Pereira will be arraigned today on murder charges. The Waterbury resident is being held on $1 million bond. 3 people are sent to the hospital last night after flames ripped through the Prescott Bush apartments in New Haven. The elderly victims were treated at Yale New Haven Hospital for a smoke inhalation. Investigators believe the County Street fire was started by someone smoking in bed. They may be tiny, but there's nothing little about their stamina. The McCoy septuplets remain in serious condition at a hospital in Des Moines, Iowa this morning. All have breathing problems and are on respirators, but doctors say they have high hopes the 7 will survive.
Making cars more fuel efficient would save motorists in Connecticut about $600 a year. That story tops 3 on your side. Environmental groups say consumers would see savings because the cars would use less fuel. The group's proposal would increase fuel standards for cars from 27.5 miles per gallon to 45 miles per gallon. Automakers oppose the move.
State Comptroller Nancy Wyman is suing Blue Cross Blue Shield. She wants the corporation to return $270 million in surplus funds to Connecticut customers. The insurance giant wants to send the money to its headquarters in Indiana. Blue Cross merged with Anthem Insurance in August, and Wyman wants the surplus returned to policyholders in the form of either cash, lower rates, or an established fund.
Equal pay for equal work. In 1997, you might think we're getting closer to that. Not quite. The latest numbers on the salary divide between men and women are out, and they show the gap getting wider. From office to factory to retail, women make up almost half the workforce, but it doesn't add up to equality in wages. In median weekly earnings, men earn $573, women earn $429. A step back for women who in 1993 were earning 77% of what men were. Now, 4 years later, it's less than 75%. Some workers are surprised.
I thought, if anything, it would be the opposite direction.
Unfortunately, we all work in a very male-dominated environment, so it will take many years to remedy that problem.
The salary divides workers in all categories. In sales, men earn $590 weekly, women $354. In manufacturing, men earn $446 a week, women $311. Even the managers, men earn a median $864 weekly, women $610. Economists and activists offer a variety of reasons for the gap, including faster wage gains by men. more women in the lowest paying jobs as a result of welfare reform, and the traditional role of women.
Women still suffer the long-term consequences of family and child-rearing responsibilities, so that their earnings go down as their life cycle moves on.
Women have taken a disproportionate share of newer, lower-paying jobs, or have been harder hit by cutbacks in social service and public welfare programs.
It's unclear what it will take for wage equality. Economists look to more job training for women and faster wage increases. Younger women in their first jobs come closest to earning what men do, 90% of men's wages. But it doesn't hold throughout a woman's career, and that, economists say, is the real challenge. And here in Connecticut, the salary divide is even greater. A recent survey by a women's policy group shows women in this state earn only 68% of what Connecticut men earn.
Now, from the Channel 3 New England Weather Service, forecast first.
Hi, good morning. We've had an interesting week around here. The sun has been with us every day, and for some, all the snow cover has been on the ground each and every day this week, as it's been very cold, and even some frozen ponds out there. And keep in mind, do not walk on the ice. It's not strong enough at this point in time. And our forecast first this morning shows you temperatures are in the 20s again this morning. Your morning rush featuring a few clouds, and clouds will be on the increase for today as we head towards the noontime hour. The clouds in, temperatures inland up around 40, and then this afternoon with the southerly wind in, and the clouds around too. We're still keeping the temperature in the 40s, but it's getting up to about 48. Shoreline areas for today is starting out with some clouds and little sun as we go through the morning. Temperature 31, noontime getting up towards 50, and then into the 50s as we go for later on this afternoon. Clouds on the increase today, with the exception of a passing shower. We're basically rain-free during today, but a different story tonight. Temperature 33 in Hartford this morning. The dew point's 26. The south wind is in now. The pressure at 30.11 inches. 31 at Goshen Stores this morning. 35 Waterbury. Anfield 27. 28 Meriden. Look at Milford at 27 degrees this morning, and 38 in Fort Groton, New London. And elsewhere, Wyndham's 21, Litchfield 21, 24 at Canton this morning, 27 at Bradley, and 31 in for Bridgeport. Plenty of moisture down here to the south, and it's moving up in this direction. And this storm system is going to be taking a track onto our west. So the cold air is going to get locked to the north. Winter storm watch is in effect for northern New England, but for us, it is a plain old rain event, and the main time period will be midnight tonight through noontime tomorrow. Forecast for this day, mostly cloudy skies, and temperature a little milder today, 40s to lower 50s. Could run into a shower this afternoon. And then tonight, if you have evening plans, with the exception of a sprinkler shower around this evening, it'll be okay. But toward midnight and after midnight, steadier and heavier rain near 40. Rain heavy tomorrow morning, tapering off in the afternoon. High tomorrow in the 40s, so not too bad as you head out tomorrow night. Temperatures in the 30s, and then Sunday, partly sunny, could be a flurry, in the high Sunday just around 40, and on the windy side too, and windy and cold for Monday as well.
Okay, Joe, thanks a lot. Time now here at Connecticut's news station, just about 5:49. Coming up in the next half hour, Massachusetts lawmakers take steps to make the laws tougher after the British au pair case.
And police nab a man accused of murdering a mother of 4 in her own home. Plus, doctors provide tips on what baby boomers can do to keep fit and healthy. But first, a look at last night's winning lottery numbers. Connecticut Daily, 433. Play 4, 8465.
Cash 5, 112, 17, 32, 33. Massachusetts Daily, 6439.
Mass Millions, 310, 12, 25, 28, 44. Your bonus number, 34. On the Health Beat today, some interesting news about AIDS. Researchers say they've learned why some patients can be infected with the virus for years without becoming ill. Those patients make a type of white blood cell that most AIDS patients are missing. That's the results of a study published in the journal Science.
Chances are your birth date falls between 1946 and 1964. More than 1 in every 5 Americans fits into the category we know as baby boomers. But most baby boomers prefer to think young. But as Mark Levinson shows us, baby boomers ought to think about growing old.
The boom. The first ones were born a few months after the atom bomb.
I, John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
By the early 60s, they grew to 78 million. They're the baby boomers.
Look at that snazzy car. I look at these and I think, gosh, this is like watching an old movie on TV.
Among them, 47-year-old Cheryl Forms.
You know, how are you supposed to feel when you're 47? I really don't know.
That attitude worries internists, that after boomers pass the big 4-0, they may ignore danger signs like fatigue.
You could be anemic, your blood count be low, your thyroid gland could be underactive, you might have diabetes.
Now, lots of baby boomers, and that includes me, work hard to stay fit and trim, but the pressure to stay that way creeps up as they age. For every 7 seconds, another baby boomer turns 50.
Good afternoon, AARP.
The American Association of Retired Persons expects a boomer stampede that drains Medicare and Social Security.
Many of them are not thinking about the consequences of being old for a long time.
Any problems with your hearing, ringing in your ears?
An internist campaign urges boomers to take health care seriously before it's too late.
I think right now we're very healthy. I think our goal as internist doctors for adults is to keep the baby boomers healthy.
The forecast calls for boomers to live till their 80s, but Cheryl wants even more.
I mean, I hope I live to be over 100.
That's till 2050. With good health today, lots of boomers may also live that long.
An Illinois baby girl who weighed just 12 ounces at birth went home yesterday, more than 3 months after she was born. The girl now weighs, there she is, 3 pounds 12 ounces. She was delivered almost 4 months early because of problems with her mother's health. The girl is only the third known baby born in the U.S. at 12 ounces who has survived more than a few hours.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, good luck to her. Well, it is 5:54 on Connecticut's news station, and coming up in our next half hour, Dallas Mavericks basketball star forward AC Green breaks an NBA record.
Good for him. Also at 6, the king of pop may be changing more diapers. We'll have more on Michael Jackson and People of the News. Also at 5:57, a rooftop robbery nets 2 bandits some pricey jewels from Cartier. Stay with us. You're watching Connecticut's news station. A 21-year-old man has been charged with murdering the mother of quadruplets, and he has been arrested in Monterrey, Mexico.
Texas Rangers and Mexican police have been hunting for Jose Luis del Toro since he was charged with the murder of Sheila Bellish in her Sarasota, Florida home. Florida police have given no motive in the slaying, but 2 San Antonio men were arrested earlier this week as accused co-conspirators in the crime.
A major jewel heist makes news in London. Police say 2 masked men broke through a skylight and got into a workshop used by Cartier. They snatched diamonds and gold estimated to be worth up to $165 million. Police say the bandits, who were armed with shotguns, tied up the manager and another worker before making off with their haul. Nobody was hurt, and you can imagine they better be looking over their shoulders this morning.
Yeah, they will be hunted.
Yes, indeed. Time now is 5:58. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, sun and fun, but who is paying the bill? Find out how plans are being made for you, yes, you, to send nearly 24 elected officials from Connecticut to Hawaii.
And a local woman is charged in connection with a deadly explosion that killed her own father in Manchester last year.
And a would-be car buyer heads to court after driving mad into a Vernon dealership. Stay with us. Polly Bell and I are coming right back.